What's up, Niagara? How you doing? Shawn DeLaat here from Davids DeLaat, and welcome to our podcast. And this is our first one, and I'm honored and privileged to have our good friend Mario here. So Mario, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're about, and we can go from there.
Great, Shawn. Thanks for having me on your first show, and I really appreciate you inviting me here. My name is Mario Arghittu. I'm from St. Catharines, born and raised. I've been here my whole life in the Niagara region. And I am a hair designer and owner of Picasso's Hair Salon in St. Catharines on Walnut Avenue.
Excellent, excellent. And I know there is probably lots of ladies who are really looking forward to getting into your establishment. I believe you mentioned you're opening up tomorrow.
Correct, Shawn. So Mr. Ford allowed us to have the rights to open up our business last Friday. We've taken some days to get our organization in place so that we making sure that our clients are going to be safe, our staff, and tomorrow is going to be showtime. It's going to be our first day of business.
Awesome. And you know what? It really warms my heart to hear the fact that you took the little bit. Most people are jumping into it, and I've heard some reports on the news that some of them jump right into it and they didn't plan accordingly, and there's hiccups and fines and stuff like that. So yes. I know you being your establishment's been forever. So for you have repeat clients constantly, like they're almost like family to you, just yes. Like for Terrence and myself, and our clients are like our family. So you definitely want to create that safe space for them, and so that's awesome to hear that you took that extra time, and people will be very, very happy to get their locks finally cut. I know my wife's showing me her roots and stuff, and so anyways, so that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It's been 14 weeks that we've been closed, and clients' cycle usually is 4 to 6 weeks, so it's a little bit of a trying time for clients that have been waiting this anxiously to come to the salon.
And so how have you done it? They book appointments, and
yes.
I take it you're probably jam-packed.
Yes. So what we did was we've had 3 receptionists working for the last 4 days, only receptionists booking appointments and opening up the schedules, and it's been we're very happy to be back, and
absolutely
great response from our clients, waiting and very patient, and it's been fabulous.
Good stuff, and that's really great to hear, because there is a growing sentiment about the economy and worries about what's going to happen. But at least from my perspective, anything that I've seen has opened has just come back and flourished even better than ever. So it's good to hear that's coming around. So appreciate that. And then so you've lived here in Niagara pretty much your whole life. Personally myself, I lived here too, grew up in Niagara on the Lake, and then moved around various different cities within Niagara. And personally, I'm very passionate. I can only assume you're passionate. Lots of great things kind of happening here in Niagara. And what's your kind of outlook for where things are at?
I think, Shawn, you've summed it up very well. I mean, I think the Niagara region has so much to offer, and I really believe that, looking at it for my family and for my children for the future, I really believe that at one time it was very difficult for them to plan their future to be in the Niagara region because of what was available for them for employment and education and just having a family. But I think that it's becoming more reality that it's very affordable. We've got a lot to offer, and it's a great area to raise a family. And I think that the Niagara region has nothing but success of many years to come, and I think that
absolutely,
it's gonna be great.
I agree with you 100% on that too. And it's kind of funny because I look at it from when I grew up here. I'm 43 now, so going back 35 years ago, it was families all over the place. I could get on my bike and ride around, and then we kind of lost that for a little bit. A lot of my friends left, went to university, didn't bother coming back because at that point there wasn't a heck of a lot of jobs.
Correct.
We did kind of see a little bit of a transition to more of a retirement community, but I see through what's kind of happened in the past 5 years, more in particular with that onset of people from Toronto flocking here for affordable prices, a little bit of a different lifestyle, that the whole dynamic is changing. So I think it's very, very exciting for us as Niagara residents, for us to see what's coming. And yes, now our kids may not leave us
Correct.
to go,
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Very true. I don't know if it's a good thing or not either, but you know what? It is nice for that to be happening for sure. Yeah. So also wanted to quickly touch on your personal experience with the regentrification of the downtown area, being a business owner. There's been a lot of changes down there. And I recall, even personally myself, about 10 years ago, couple of my friends and buddy investors were all jumping to go into downtown St. Catharines and buy buildings, and it's going to happen, it's going to change. And personally, myself, I was a naysayer. It's like, I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen. But sure enough, you build an arena, you build this performing arts center, and like they say, if you build it, they will come. And it certainly has changed. I mean, boy, oh boy, you go down there, you can't even get into restaurants anymore. So, touch on that for everyone.
Well, I think the downtown core, I mean, there's so much potential. And I think that the strategy that they're using for downtown right now is very important for the future. And again, for our generation to be able to look for our kids' future, it's crucial. And I think that what I really do like is that it's gearing towards a youthful environment. So what will happen is, again, our children will want to be downtown. So it seems like for us to have rejuvenation downtown, we need to have the youth.
Yep.
And if we can kind of get a few things in order, there's still a couple hiccups I think that the city's dealing with, and but they will overcome them, and I think that'll be great. And for example, next to Picasso's Memorial School, unfortunately it closed down, but there's a beautiful project that's going to be built downtown with bringing people living back downtown. And I think that's a perfect start for a lot of opportunities for new development.
Absolutely. And you know what? I am even noticing myself just with some of the first-time home buyers, they're really gravitating to that downtown area because they are gravitating now to downtown St. Catharines again.
Yes.
Before, no one really wanted to go down there. But now they love grabbing their little bungalow on Marquis Street. They can walk down to downtown. And then the other side of the coin, you hit it right on the head. There's going to be some towers going up in that downtown core, which again is great for some of the older people. But not only that, millennials are really gravitating to condo living. They maybe a little spoiled. Growing up, didn't have to cut the grass like I or you kind of had to or anything like that.
Still do.
Yeah, there you go, right? And so, they like that low maintenance, not have to lift a finger thing. So those condos will definitely be, I think, a sought after commodity down there for sure. So again, agreed. Really exciting things going on with the downtown core and other things as well. Now, you also too are a business owner, but not only that, a property investor, and you started off very young, I believe, and which congratulations to you. It's you started young and you've done very, very well through doing that. Do you have any advice you can give some other young, maybe Niagara guys who are looking to invest and jump on the wave and maybe can excel and start having these conversations with us 20 years from now?
I think that, Shawn, the best advice I could give to somebody that wants to get involved with real estate younger, and I use the same theory for my children, is that you need to get in the game to play the game. And I think that it's the best advice I could get. I mean, regardless of what the price point is, you just need to invest. And I think that if you can make some sacrifices, and whether it's $100,000 or $50,000 or $500,000, whatever you're able to do, just get in the game. And real estate has always been very good to me, and I still believe that you can never go wrong with real estate. And I think that for a young person, just try to do something, work it out. The banks are being very helpful on opportunities and tools that the banks have set up so that young kids can get involved with it. And I think that you just got to get in there and start doing it.
Absolutely. And I 100% agree with that as well. It's just get something.
Yes.
Get a property,
Correct.
Just even if it's a fixer upper or whatever, just get something. Because, it's going to get tougher, unfortunately, for the local guys, though, the local first-time home buyers, because you got a whole bunch of other first-time home buyers now leaving Toronto, leaving Hamilton to come down here because they can't afford a house there, which unfortunately is pushing our houses up. Yes. Where unfortunately our little guy here, their money's not going to take them as far as they could. But I agree with you. Not only that, I think you can agree you've probably made some great partnerships over the years too that have made for some successful real estate transactions and things like that. So not only that, what I even encourage too is get a buddy. Get a buddy, and if you can't get the house on your own, get a buddy. Become a roommate. You guys can make that your first property. But I think one thing you can touch on too is you got to make sure it's the right partner, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can honestly say that when you talk to anybody about partnerships, they always say it's a 90-10 10%, that 90% chance it's not going to work out. But I've been very blessed over the years, and even to this day, I have multiple businesses, but I have key partners that have helped me along the way to learn and understand and be financially supportive, and same with me, being able to contribute. So I'm a firm believer in partnership if you find the right chemistry. And that's a good point that you brought up. Sometimes the amount is a little bit too steep for certain individuals, but if you find the right person that you believe in, you can make it work. It's just like a marriage. If you want the marriage to work and with your spouse, so you can work issues out. It's the same thing with partnership. You need to communicate and talk. And
I mean, obviously, Davids DeLaat, it's a partnership, and I'm very blessed to have the right person to be my partner as well. And you're right, partnerships can go one of two ways sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you really pick the right person and you're honest and trustworthy, you can't go wrong.
It's great.
And especially you got to figure two buddies growing up together, build your career, build your kind of wealth together or whatever. So no, that's great. And you're absolutely correct. Just get into the market.
Yes.
Don't wait. Especially the number one thing that myself and our team are hearing is like, people are starting to get a little hesitant. They think prices are going to drop. But you know what? With our low affordable homes, current interest rates, let alone the kind of climate we're in right now, the work from home aspect, there's a lot of people coming here from out of town that don't even bat an eyelash at our prices. And that's where I think sometimes our local buyers, not even first-time home buyers, we've all lived here our whole life. We've all seen our property values. We scratch our heads sometimes and go, well, how can this be happening? Well, it's just the light has gone on. Cars are now coming past Grimsby, like we kind of touched on before.
Yep. And
it's quality of life, affordability, and it's just a great place to live.
Yes.
Tons of great things happening there. So the one thing too is now that you're opening up and navigating the current climate, obviously we just went through the quarantine, COVID-19. It's still out there, but you've talked about different things you're doing to mitigate it at your salon and everything like that. Have you had any pushback or any people kind of hesitant saying like, hey, I'd love to get my hair cut, but I'm very cautious? I find that people in my age demographic are kind of over the whole, they understand and respect it's still out there, but amongst each other, they're feeling pretty safe about different things. And obviously there's the older demographic, no matter what we should be cautious for. But, it's funny talking to different people though. Some people are really lackadaisical, other people are very stringent and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. I joked with my wife. I said, there's kind of two people in the world right now. There's maskers and non-maskers. And we're kind of non-maskers. Don't get me wrong. I have to show houses sometimes and wear masks, and I respect it. If someone wants me to wear a mask, I will. But other than that, my personal preference is no mask.
Right.
What's it looking like for the hairstyles? Because you guys are kind of spaced out anyways. Have you had to make some still adjustments on that and stuff like that?
Yes. I mean, our industry, we're probably the closest industry other than surgery or whatever that we're very face-to-face with clients. So our industry is being watched very carefully, which I understand. And we're ready. I mean, all our stylists are going to be wearing masks. They have shields. We have the gloves. We have the 6 feet apart, and we're lucky because our footprint of Picasso's is a very big space.
Yeah, you got a big space there.
So we're almost 4,000 square feet of footprint that we can kind of space everything out. So we're very fortunate that we're going to be able to have less complications, I think, of trying to get ready for our grand opening tomorrow.
Very nice.
But I think people are a little bit worried still.
Yeah.
It's 14 weeks is a long time to be inside your house and staying away from people. If you look at Italy, I mean, they took a beating in Europe, and they're starting to come out of it, which is great, and businesses are starting to open up. And in fact, in today in Venice, they're starting to put a tax on because, again, financially it's hurt the country, but I think that they're looking for the tourists to come back. And I think we just got to be safe, we got to be smart, and we just need to respect the rules.
100%. And I'm hands down agree with that. Like, I want, for now, there's not going to be a full-on normality. It's out there, it's doing what it's doing, but I 100% agree with you. As long as people are respectful of the process,
Yes.
you know, social distancing, respect people who want masks on, all these different things, you know, the government puts out guidelines, follow the guidelines, let's all just get along, do these things so we can have some normality.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, I was the first person who was a little hesitant about, you know, my patio to me is my backyard right now. I love it, and you know, now we're allowed to have our little bubble and guests come, so we sit in the back, and that's kind of my patio. But I ordered some food from a restaurant on Friday, the first day it was kind of open. They had the patio open, and I was the first person who was like, I don't think I'm going to a patio all summer. But watching how it was actually all handled and what was going on, it looked great. You know, you got the table of 4, spaced out, you know, you don't really know anyone there. So it's just you and your people, and you at least get to hang out and stuff like that. So, you know, one thing where I was a little nervous of, now I've seen how it's kind of going on and stuff like that. It's now got me enthused to actually go check out a patio and meet some friends out for dinner. So, you know, hopefully others can, you know, my whole fear is that once COVID's over, that I'm still going to see people wearing masks. And I hope that doesn't happen. I hope people do realize we've gone through pandemics. Like, it's almost like a 100-year cycle.
Yeah.
So if you look 100 years ago, it happened, it ended, and then we had 100 years of just normal life again. Yeah. So didn't need to wear masks. So I hope when this ends that people do realize that life can go back to normal, and it is what it is. And, and you know, I just don't want fear mongering and stuff like that. That's one of my number one concerns.
I think, Shawn, what's going to be crucial here is that we survive and the results do not become worse than what they are right now with numbers. Yeah. And I think that people will forget about it, because in time, recessions have happened. There's been other issues that have taken place around the world that people forget over time. The one thing that I find with this is we were lax on the hygiene of everything around us. And it's really changed the way we look at things. And, you know, even I look at a door handle, and I look at it differently than I did last year.
So true.
So I think that with what's going on has made people aware that they need to bring their A game to society every day.
Absolutely.
And I think if we can keep doing that, hope that we can come with a solution with the virus, whether a vaccine or I'm not sure what the right solution is, but I hope that we do get back to a normal way of life, with it being a little bit more refined than what we were at before.
Oh, absolutely. No matter what, when this is, you know, all said and done, who really knows the outlook? I mean, it's unfortunate we don't have an answer to that, but I mean, once it's all said and done, yes, it's going to change the landscape a little bit. There's going to be, you know, there's going to be good things that come of it. There's going to be negative things that come of it. You know, like especially even just for example, the work from home thing. So many businesses now. Commercial space in Toronto, you're going to see commercial buildings probably be retrofitted into condos because all this work from home thing, which to be honest is great for Niagara, because I kind of joke. I mean, you know, Walter should be going out there and saying, Niagara, your new work from home community, and get some people down here and you know, and different things. And so, you know, there'll be great positive things. There'll be some negative things that come of it, but overall, whatever bad thing come, 10 good things come from it as well, you know. So there's going to be those types of changes. So one thing I know you're really passionate about, and I'm just going to let you talk about it, and I think this is very huge, because I know Terrence and myself have been part of your charity as well. So you have the Hernder Picasso Foundation, and I know you're very passionate about it. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, great, Shawn. Thanks. Well, the foundation has been in motion for about 10 years now, approximately. Chris Hernder, a very good friend of mine, and his sister Angel Hernder are my partners on the foundation. So, you know, a few years ago, we were looking for an opportunity to give back to the community. Chris and Angel touch a lot of people at the winery, and I, in the beauty industry, touch a lot of people. And we just thought that we wanted to do something to say thank you to the community, because the community's been great to my family and to my business, and also with Chris and his family. And, you know, a couple of years ago, we made the commitment, you know, of $1 million to the hospital, to the cancer center, which, again, they've got a great person involved now with the foundation, Roger Alley, that has kind of guided us a little bit on certain things that need to be done at the hospital. But the short and the long is, it's very important that we give back to the community because the community's given to us all these years.
Absolutely. As a business owner, for sure, your community is your clients.
Yes.
But not only that, it's also the fact too. It's one thing is Terrence and myself. The community is our clients as well. But most importantly too, not just our clients, but also just growing up here and the people we've met, the people who've helped us out, who've got us to where we are. It's only natural to give back, and I respect you guys for doing that because, like we kind of touched on, I think we can both say we're both passionate about Niagara.
Yes.
We both love the people here in Niagara, and anything we can do to kind of help our community is what we want to do. And you've created a great foundation. I know you guys do numerous things, but I think we've been part of your golf tournament.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this year we'll not be moving forward with the golf tournament, but hey, there's always other years.
Yes.
Right? Let's get through this. There's always other years for sure. But why don't you touch a little bit on the golf tournament?
So the golf tournament, and we appreciate you guys sponsoring us because I think that individuals like yourself and your companies, and we're, Chris and Angel and myself, we're really blessed that our committee, our team, are very influential people in the community that have the same thoughts that we do. They want to help out as much as they possibly can. So we're lucky that we have a great team. I mean, we've got probably 15 people on our committee that are helping us all year round, making sure that
nice. Isn't Jessica part of the
yes,
committee?
She's on our team. We recruited her last year, and
very good.
She's on our team, and a great contribution of her time and her ability has been great. But so the golf tournament is one of our staple events that we do every year.
And for those of everyone listening and watching and like that, it is one heck of a good time. Yes. I tell you. You guys know how to throw a spread. You roll up right away. The drinks are there. You got the nice appetizers before you even go out and golf. And then the spread after the golf is amazing. So for anyone out there, if you're looking for a wonderful event to be part of, the golf tournament is for sure one of them, definitely.
And the Hernders have a great backdrop for the winery where we have our dinner back at the course at the winery. So we're very lucky that we have a lot of components that come together during that day, from sponsorship to great golfers like yourself and your teams, and it's an important factor because we raise approximately $75,000 every year with that golf tournament.
Awesome.
So it's a great way to help the hospital back
100%. And like I said, it truly is a great time, and anyone out there who ever wants to take part in it and make a donation or anything, please try it out, because if you go once, you'll probably want to go again. It really is really that good, because I even got the foursomes that I brought last year. They're bugging me again.
That's good,
because they had a really good time for sure. So I think one other thing which probably a lot of people in Niagara know about, because it's become quite popular and famous, is your big banger Halloween party.
Yes.
And that's held at Hernders as well. Yes. And again, it's really great that they can have such a extraordinary space to have it. And a shout out to Hernders as well, because I just want to say, if you are looking to get married, it's a great place to get married.
Beautiful.
Because my wife and myself, we got married there.
Great.
So it was a fantastic day. And it was a great wedding. So it's a great venue.
Beautiful setting.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where they have the Halloween party.
Yes.
So, and it's been going strong for how long now? Like, has that been?
That's probably been 10 years.
10 years, probably right from the onset of when you guys, that was probably your first kind of thing then, eh?
Yeah, that was one of our first events. Again, I'm not a Halloween person, but my wife, she's the one that kind of talked us into doing this years ago. And me and Chris, we tried it the first year, and we were worried that it was 9:30, 10 o'clock, and there wasn't a soul in the hall. But within a half an hour, it's like somebody opened up the door and the place was packed, and we've never looked back. Jonesy's performs every year for us.
Absolutely.
Fabulous band.
Good band, for sure. And it's always a great time, for sure. I've been there. I don't make it every year, but I've been there quite a few times, and it is always packed. And there's people having quite a good time.
Yes.
And I gotta agree, I'm not necessarily the full-on Halloween guy myself, but it's something else to see some of the people. I dress up, I go to the party, I dress up for sure. But some people really get into it, Mario? Like, you got the costume prizes for first place prizes, and boy, oh boy, some guys really get into it because they want to win that first place prize.
Well, we have over $1,000 in prizes, and there's, again, people keep coming back every year, and the costumes just get better and better and better.
Absolutely.
And it's a great party, and we're hoping that we're still going to be able to have that in October. But
Fingers crossed.
yes.
We'll see. You know, one day at a time for
Yes.
sure. And so you do the golf tournament. You have the Halloween. Is there anything else you guys kind of?
Yes, we were just in the process of with putting a car show on at the winery. We had just kind of been working with, and I didn't want to divulge too much information on this quite yet because we're still working on the details. But we possibly are working with Ferrari to be able to have, and Alfa Romeo to be able to have a car show at the winery. There's an event that's going on already in the community, which I'll mention Sam DeMita and Sun Collision.
Okay, yeah.
But Sam's been doing a great job with his car show and his team of guys, and I think that what we want to try to do is bring the event to the winery, be able to offer some of the Toronto guests being able to tour the vineyards and the wineries in the Niagara-on-the-Lake, and be able to have the car show and be able to do a really cool thing. So we're working on that, and that's going to be our third venue. And another project that we're working on is going to be Dancing Under the Stars, similar to like a dancing competition that we've seen before. That's also in the making. That could possibly happen next year.
Wow! So
we've
think
got
of that. What's up, Niagara? You guys heard it here first. So that's really cool. And one thing for sure is your foundation is fantastic. You guys all work very hard. Like you said, you have a team of 15 people, and I know you guys all put your heart and soul into it. Yes. But also too, you get the results, and you do have a lot of money that you are able to donate through all these things. So where can people learn more, get involved more, and most importantly, support the Hernder Picasso Foundation?
Well, there's a couple different ways. Angel does all our administrative. She's at the winery, so you can go to the Hernder's website. You can also go to Picasso's website. Also, you'll see that we have tabs for the foundation. There's nice pictures on there. You'll see all the dates that are posted. You'll see some of the stories that are behind what we're trying to do. So there's a couple different ways of getting it. But Angel is our go-to person on making sure that everyone understands what we're trying to do during each event. So
right on. Excellent. Well, listen, you know what? Really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Shawn, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.